Welcome to CNN Breaking News. Bill Gates is at it again. Already possibly the most hated man on the planet. He seems to want to secure the #1 spot from any close contenders. Gates' genetically modified mosquitoes are being released in Florida and Texas from helicopters. They have permit from US EPA to release millions of GMO mosquitoes every week for 2 full years. They claim these self-limiting mosquitoes were engineered in a lab to reduce the population of nature's mosquitoes that are carrying certain diseases like malaria. They also claim that their unnatural robot mosquitoes are not designed to stop an ongoing outbreak, but rather to prevent future ones by reducing mosquito populations over time. Bill Gates' name seems to always pop up next to 2 words, population and control. There are overwhelming suspicions linking Bill Gates to the creation and release of genetically modified mosquitoes that cause illness or are used for vaccination. Not so coincidentally, scientists had just developed a new vaccination strategy for malaria through bites from mosquitoes carrying a genetically engineered version of the parasite that causes the disease. Scientists are actively working on strategies to control and potentially eradicate certain mosquito species, particularly those that transmit diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus. This involves both traditional methods like habitat reduction and novel approaches using gene editing technologies. The same claims have been made about Bill Gates doing the same to humans and the human population. The COVID virus is suspected by some, and even confirmed by Trump, to be engineered in a lab to reduce the population of people that are carrying certain diseases or traits. Temperature control is another topic Bill Gates is constantly linked to. Warmer temperatures can accelerate mosquito breeding cycles and extend their active seasons. Increased rainfall may increase the number of breeding sites available to mosquitoes. As the temperature continues to increase drastically, you can start to connect the dots with everything that is going on. Consequently, regions previously too cold or dry for mosquitoes may become more hospitable, potentially leading to an increase in mosquito population. This could have significant implications for the spread of mosquito diseases, such as dengue fever and West Nile virus, posing new challenges for public health systems. In fact, NPR reports that researchers believe as many as 1 billion people could be newly exposed to mosquito diseases within the century. This could mean that Texas and Florida could be the 2 biggest locations of Bill Gates' experiments with weather and population control in the United States. Or, they could be the sites suffering the most from the ramifications. The side effects of such experiments with nature has caused the increase of mosquitoes in these regions, as the ecosystem counteracts the effect of Bill Gates' actions. To further backpedal what nature is doing, Billy is now releasing robot mosquitoes in the air, in disguise as philanthropy from the goodness of his heart, all just to cover his tracks. He has started a domino effect of issues with nature that he cannot live long enough to successfully reverse at his tender age. Everything he does at this point, nature will counter. And everything nature counters he feels he has to counter to keep covering his tracks, while trying to prove he was right to initiate such power trip in the first place. Nobody asked him to save the world. In fact, most people want him to stop trying to. If mosquitoes were eradicated from the planet, the effects on the ecosystem could be tragic, which would explain why he is releasing more mosquitoes into the ecosphere. Gates is always seen in third-world countries doing so-called philanthropy work with vaccines. But taking a closer look, you realize he is using these countries and their populations as test subjects to his life's work of population and weather control. Countries with warm, moist climates and abundant vegetation tend to have high mosquito densities. These areas provide ideal breeding grounds due to the presence of standing water and high humidity. What is alarming for Americans as a whole is they are more likely to be bitten by mosquitoes due to their blood type and average weight. People with blood type O are more likely to get bitten by mosquitoes. And yes, you guessed it, that is the most common blood type of the American people.